Hi everyone, this is Jack from Maths Forge, and in today's lesson we're going to be doing expanding triple brackets. So let's take a look at our first example. Here we're being asked to expand x plus 7 to the power of 3. Well, anything to the power of 3 is an entity that's being multiplied by itself 3 times. So x plus 7 in brackets to the power of 3 can actually be rewritten as x plus 7 multiplied by x plus 7 multiplied by x plus 7. Now, how I would personally expand triple brackets is to do the first two brackets, so expand the first two brackets, and then whichever result you get from that, expand it with a third bracket. And this is what it looks like. So we're going to do x multiplied by x, which is x squared, x multiplied by positive 7, which is positive 7x. Then we're going to have positive 7 multiplied by x, which is positive 7x, and positive 7 multiplied by positive 7, which is positive 49. And then we close this bracket, and we have the x plus 7 to the right, which we still haven't expanded. But let's simplify this large expression first. So we're going to have x squared plus 7x and plus 7x give us plus 14x. Then we have the plus 49. And then we're going to multiply this by x plus 7. Now, you can multiply each term with this bracket and then simplify. So you could do x squared multiplied by x plus 7, and then 14x multiplied by x plus 7, and then finally the 49. And if you do that, this is what you're going to get. So we're going to have x squared multiplied by x, which is going to give us x cubed. X squared multiplied by positive 7, which is positive 7x squared. Okay, the x squared has been multiplied by everything. We don't need it anymore. Now we're going to have the plus 14x multiplied by x, which is going to give us plus 14x squared. Don't forget x times x is x squared. And plus 14x multiplied by positive 7, which is going to give us positive 98x. And now that the 14x is multiplied onto everything, we can move on from it. Let's do the positive 49 multiplied by x, which is going to be plus 49x. And the positive 49 multiplied by the positive 7, which gives us plus 343. Now we can go ahead and collect like terms to simplify this very large expression. So we only have one term with an x cubed, so that's going to be our only term with an x cubed. We have two terms with an x squared, so we can go ahead and collect them. Positive 7 plus 14 is plus 21, and then an x squared. And we have two terms with a x, it's 98x and plus 49x. So positive 98x plus 49x is going to give us plus 147x. And then we have the 343 at the end, which is a number on its own, a constant, which cannot be added onto anything else. So that stays as it is. And this should be our final answer in its simplest form. If we check our answer, there it is. X cubed plus 21x squared plus 147x plus 343. Now let's do a two-star example. So just as the previous example, we're going to multiply the first two brackets together. So we're going to have x multiplied by everything in the second bracket, which is going to give us x squared minus 8x. And then once that's done, we're going to do the plus 3 multiplied by everything in the second bracket, which is going to be plus 3x, and then minus 24. Now this makes up one bracket, these two small brackets that multiply together. And then we have the x plus 2 at the very end, which we still haven't expanded. Now let's simplify this. It's going to give us x squared, and then minus 8x plus 3x is going to give us minus 5x, and then we have minus 24. And we're now going to expand this with the x plus 2 to the right here. So we're going to do x squared multiplied by everything, which is going to give us x cubed plus 2x squared. And then we're going to do minus 5x multiplied by everything in the second bracket, which is going to give us minus 5x squared minus 10x. And then we're going to do the minus 24 multiplied by everything in the second bracket, which is going to be minus 24x minus 48. If we go ahead and collect like terms, we have a single x cubed, so that's just going to stay as it is. We're going to have plus 2x squared minus 5x squared, which is going to leave us with minus 3x squared. Then we have minus 10x and minus 24x, so that's going to give us minus 34x. And finally, minus 48 sitting on its own with no other numbers to simplify it. So this should be our final answer in its simplest form. And if we check our answer, there it is. We have an x cubed, minus 3x squared, minus 34x, and a minus 48. Now let's do a three-star example. In the 3-star examples, the x's just have a coefficient in front of them, so it's going to make things slightly more complicated when it comes to multiplying the numbers out. So let's get started. We're going to do our first 2 brackets multiplied together, as we've done in the 1 and 2-star examples. So we're going to have 2x multiplied by everything in the second bracket, which is going to give us 4x squared minus 16x. And we're going to do the same with the negative 2 multiplied by everything in the second bracket, which is going to give us negative 4x plus 16. And now this makes up the large first bracket, and we have the 7x minus 9, which still has not been expanded. Now we're going to simplify this large expression here. So this is going to give us 4x squared, and then minus 16x and minus 4x simplify to give us minus 20x. And then we have the plus 16. And now we have the 7x minus 9. Now let's go ahead and multiply everything in this first bracket by everything in the second bracket. So 4x squared multiplied by everything. 4x squared multiplied by 7x is going to give us 28x cubed, because of course x squared times x is x cubed. And 4x squared multiplied by negative 9 is going to give us negative 36x squared. Now that we're done with the 4x squared, let's move on to the negative 20x. Negative 20x multiplied by 7x is going to give us negative 140x squared. And negative 20x multiplied by negative 9, 2 negatives give you a positive, and 20 times 9 is 180, and then we have an x there. Now that we're done with the negative 20x, let's move on to the plus 16. Positive 16 multiplied by 7 is going to give us positive 112x. And finally, positive 16 multiplied by negative 9 is going to give us negative 144. Now if we go ahead and simplify this very long expression, we have only one term with an x cubed, and that's this one here, this 28. So that's just going to stay as it is, 28x cubed. We have 2 terms with an x squared, so that's going to be minus 36x squared minus 140x squared, which should give us minus 176x squared. We have another 2 terms with an x in there, so it's going to be plus 180x plus 112x, which is going to give us plus 292x. And finally, we have the minus 144 sitting on its own with no other numbers to simplify. So that's just going to stay as it is, minus 144. And this should be our final answer in its simplest form. So if we check our answer, there it is. We have a 28x cubed, a minus 176x squared, a plus 292x, and a minus 144. And that concludes our lesson on expanding triple brackets.